There you go. Now you can give me a voice test.
Hello, greetings.
Alright, I just turned you up a tiny bit. I think that's good.
Okey-dokey.
Let's see. There's one of us.
Get my camera in a better position here.
There's the other one. Guess I can turn that off. Is that me? That's me. That one's the fish. There we go. Let me get that over.
Alright, and you're
All right.
here someplace.
Now we're live. All right, greetings, avatars. Welcome to a Friday stream with a somewhat refreshed me. I took it easy this week. Tried to only do a couple hours a day, catch up on things because I had to do company taxes and a bunch of other stuff, filing reports and junk. So, not that that's a relaxing thing, but I didn't kill myself this week. Spent more time with the family. So, feeling a little better right now. Hey, and we're getting some people in there. Let's see, we got 72 people on there now. Just got a couple raids. Congratulations. I'll be thanking people here. That's good. You gotta be careful not to start the hype train too early. Oh, the hype train started. All right, well, as always, for each level completed in the hype train, we'll do an extra round of prizes at the end. I see Carndor. Oh, that's somebody saying hi to me in the scene. Today, here I'm in Iron Hall. I thought I'd come check things out. Saw a bunch of new houses in there, and did find at least a couple of places that were empty, so if you're still looking, Iron Hall is still a great place. Still love the layout of it. Love how it's broken up into chunks. It's not too crushing on performance, so. But anyways, welcome to another Friday stream. We have, today I have with me, oh, I guess I need to do the just point up. That finger, up. I have with me Ravalox. Everyone else said they were too exhausted to come join me, so he is my co-pilot today. Let's see. Free admission. Maybe I should go check out some of these things. But anyways, we're here today to answer some questions, give out some prizes, talk about changes that were made, talk about changes that are coming. We got a release in a little over a week. A week and a half. Week and 6 days. Almost 2 weeks, I guess. Gonna have some stuff in there. This will be a tick release, as in hopefully mostly bug fixes, just a little bit of new content, and hopefully getting some of those things I'm already seeing requests in the chat. Hey, thank you very much, Thori Kamara, for pushing us over the limit there. For those who don't know, Thori Kamara in stream is this guy up here, or Thoric Omara. I call him Thori Kamara in there because I always forget it's Thoric Omar, not Thori Kamara. Just run it together, close enough. But anyways, so you guys can all thank him because he helped complete level 1, and I'm sure quite a bit of level 2 as well. Yeah, almost done with level 2, so thank you, Thori. I'll give all the official thank yous at the end. But anyways, we got one patch out this weekend. I got it out. I did, for those who were finding a bug with repairs, that is because I pushed the client out, but I didn't see any server code changes, so it didn't warn me about pushing out a server build. I didn't think to push one out, but there were server data changes, which goes out as a separate process, which I forgot to push that out. So we had some handful of client-server data mismatch type things. That's usually what you see when, like, the client's saying one thing, but it won't let you do it. That's kind of also the case of, I'm missing an item. Sometimes that is a client or server disagreeing with you on whether or not you have it or not. But it may just be a lost packet, something crossed, the streams crossed along the way. And you can usually fix that just by going, oh, it looks like there's a contest here that Woodrow Beefcakes decided to outdo Thoric O'Mara. I'll try and say it right now.
Hey, it's been suggested that we go check out the castle.
The castle? Is there a castle?
If you party me. I'm up by the castle now. So that way you can see where I'm at.
Are you just Ravalox? You were here a second ago.
No, it's Olivar.
Actually, I'm just going to fly there. Maybe not.
Turn to your right.
Oh, that's good. You can guide me here. Ah, that one up there. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Do. Oh, and of course I'm GM Ghost, so that's screwing up everything. Let me fix that. There we go.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, this is nice. And I'm not sure what time it is on your screen. I think I might have set my time earlier.
Yeah, I'm still nighttime over here.
Okay. Oh, look, we got planets out there lining up. Is there some kind of constellation thing coming up? A junction? I forget. Oh, yeah, this is nice in here. Yeah, this is one of the things I liked about Ironhall is they split things up fairly well. Let me in. Let me in. You can always tell the well-decoed lots because they take a while. Oh man, I think they're on level. They already completed level 3 and headed towards level 4 here. There we go. Now I've got it all loaded. You can always tell the heavily decoed houses because you go to them and you run to them and it's doing the can't get in until you finish load everything. Ah, nice. Yeah, the paintings and pictures and stuff are one of my favorite things. That's Scotty over there. This is, of course, Sir Frank. Not sure if Sir Frank is in stream today. Books. That's players probably don't know this, but bookcases have always been one of my the banes of my existence. Just in terms of performance and trying to deal with the performance of rendering and keeping the performance up on how many different objects? We went through so many different trials of how to get these things performing well. Man,
nice library, though.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like the well-decoed. Oh, that's nice. And of course you gotta have a... Yep, you got a horse butt in the face. Is Devil Cult watching? Devil Cult, I'm sure you're out there. If you're watching, that's the one I thought you fixed. Since you didn't fix that, if you've looked at that code recently, maybe that's the one you can fix, because that's the one I had people sending me pictures. They were doing a guild meeting and broadcasting, streaming live, and of course, like the head guys were up there with giving the talks, and all you could see was the horse with its butt in their head. But anyways, we didn't really have a topic this week other than just talking about some of the changes that went in. I think people saw the patch did bring a few fixes. There was one that was just a missed fix, which was, and I don't think I talked about in previous streams because it was a borderline exploit. Not borderline, it was pretty exploity. There was a combination of things that were not behaving correctly, and if you combined Charge, Chaotic Feedback, and Shield of the Wicked King, and you had these skill levels really high, you could get it basically to a 0 cast time. Now I fixed that a release ago, but I didn't know that, or I didn't remember that the Bard stuff accesses it in a different way, so it wasn't fixed for the Bard stuff. So there was a fix that went in just recently that Bards could basically insta-cast things if you were using that specific setup. So that has now been fixed. I know that's one of the ones that upset some Bard types out there, because it definitely did lower some DPS in a big way. But again, it was not intended. That's nice. It was not intended and needed to be fixed. Obviously, we would never intend for a damage spell that costs 0 focus to be instant cast over and over again. And it wasn't quite instant, but only due to, lag, basically. But anyways, that was one of the fixes. There were some other fixes, a few creature fixes. I think there's some good stuff that people will be happy about. Went out in those that you may not have noticed yet, which is a lot of the casters are casting in a more friendly way, less frustrating way, I guess I should say, which is, I didn't even notice where they're at. 18 seconds and 12%. Is that for level 4 or level 5? Surely not level 5. Okay, level 4. But anyways, the creatures were casting Confusion too much, and casting Teleport others, and some of the more annoying spells, those were dropped or removed completely from high-level casters. Now, they are doing some other stuff better, which is, I went through and found a number of NPC spells and attacks that were just hard-coded numbers. So, like, I found at least one of the fireballs that was being used by some of the critters was doing 3 to 18 points of damage. Very D&D-esque, but it was 3 to 18 no matter what the level. So if a level 20 guy casted, tier 2 mob casted, it was doing 3 to 18. If a tier 200 or 20 guy casted, it was doing 3 to 18. So that's one of those I'm sure people are not happy about. But again, the reason we're doing this is we're trying to get things to a much more balanced state. So it feels fairly, or at least more balanced in terms of risk versus reward for different scenes. And some of these things, like looking at some of the scenes, it's always go and dig into why some scenes are, giving much bigger rewards, and it's usually, I've been tracking it down to a lot of different creature things that were not, we just got to see him get back on his horse and then get off again with his head stuck in the horse's butt again. But anyways, it usually comes down to there's some creatures that are not effective or have some bug to them or some element to them that's not good. The ghost was one of the ones that was in a fixed previous release that was just pitiful. In the past it's been liches and some other things. But anyways, taking a pass at the mages this release, try to get them to a point where it feels like the risk reward was somewhat more balanced. Alright.
Hey, make your way upstairs. You should see the throne room.
Yeah, like the decos around the decos. Let's see, where are the stairs in this one?
That's
the
trick,
keg room.
I'll tell you.
Well, I've been in here a number of times, but with it being this decoed, I'm not even sure if I came in the front door or the back door. But the back door is locked. Well, okay.
Yeah, look for my name.
There you are. There's another surf rank there. And that, of course, is a Dennis Lubé, I believe. Oh, actually, I'm trying to remember if that's a Dennis Lubé. Yes, Dennis Lubé right down to the bottom.
That was Dennis Lubé. The horse is gone. Oh,
Sorry,
nope,
checking
still
out the
got
gear.
part of a horse around him.
Oh, and since I called that Devil Cult about the horse bug, let me point out he did not create that bug. I just thought he might have fixed it already. That is one of the good things and bad things. There's lots of good things and bad things about joining a project late. But one of the good things is usually when you see a bug, it's like, not my bug. He's not to blame for many of the bugs because he got here late. He gets to do all the fixing, which is not as much fun. But at least you don't get blamed for all the bugs. Yeah, this is great. And these are the more performant bookcases where the books are built into them.
Yeah. That was the one of the rewards that was given out, right? For the...
Yeah, I think so. That's with the library.
Yeah.
Lady Minerva. And of course, Arca. Hector and Boris. Cool. Yeah, sweet setup. I will not sit down in his chair. Will not take the king's chair. Is there another level up here?
I like the column effect with the swords on it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. I mean, this is a great example of, and also notice, you know, pretty silky smooth frame rate just because, again, it's usually when you get into the lots and lots and lots of houses all crammed right together, all with lots of decos, is where things start doing more poorly. Can I get in? Oh. Oh, nice. This is where I'll be streaming from. Oh, the walk to the other side. All right. Now I'm ready to stream. Anyways, sorry for all the distractions here. I just thought this was pretty enough to make it worth showing off. Plenty of dogs, and you can look out over the entire town down there and the island. All right. Anyways, so we didn't have any major topics today except just to talk about some of the stuff that is coming up. Right now, I can tell you. So I am supposed to have a meeting soon. It was going to be today, but I actually pushed it back just because I had too much stuff going on, family stuff going on. But let me get my list up of stuff. I know Elgarion is doing a ton of different things in terms of the crafting stuff because he just put in a request for, I'm going to say, about 40 different stats for things to use for hookups. Now, I'm assuming these are going to be, some of these may be specific item effects or more enchantments or masterwork things, but some of the examples are, let's see, charge damage, valiant ward, protection modifier, Elysium Illumination duration, Elysium Illumination damage, blind power, flame fist damage, ice fist damage, stone fist damage, stone arrow damage, death touch, death field power, lightning damage, lightning range, chain lightning, shadow form stealth, fireflies, power, meteor shower damage, meteor shower radius, shooting stars damage, ice field damage. Anyways, that's about half of them. There's more that get down there that get into reckless stance duration, defensive stance duration, into some more combat things in case you were worried that all of them were spells. But anyways, so he's got a ton of those things going on, so you can guess that those will be coming up, at least in some amount, in the next release. I don't know if that's going to be stuff that he's holding for the talk. That'll probably be stuff for the tick, though. Let's see. And I think we need to get some more paintings in here, because here's another Master of the Mint, Sir Frank. For those who don't know, he's Master of the Mint because he, in real life, has gone and designed and had a bunch of coins made for us. I guess he didn't make them himself, but he did design them himself, and I believe pay for them himself as well. Sorry, just watching some chat here. Your head is melting.
Yeah,
that's what the chatter was about. Is his head melts into his background.
I gotta get my office cleaned up, and then I'll have a real background down there when I get my real streaming area set up.
But anyways, Frank is actually the Master of the Mint because he has had many coins made for us. So let me go check on questions here. There are already quite a few in. I guess we will be doing rapid fire questions today.
Sure, but while we're talking about stuff, obviously we got plenty of quality of life stuff going in. Few things. One thing that DC is working on actually today is to improve the flow of the startup of the game, and just small tweaks, nothing too major. One of the things that I asked, and he was able to provide pretty darn quickly, is we've added the location, the XYZ coordinates, into the deco palette as a column in the deco palette. So not only will people, be able to go up there and see what they have displayed and everything in the deco palette, now you'll be able to know where it is. This is the first phase of it. If DC is listening, I'm hoping to get a right click on the LOC so you can teleport to the item. This will be available to the owner and the co-owner of the lot, and the governor and stewards of the POTs if the deco palette's on the POT. This is actually prep work for something more that I have planned, which is going to be treasure chests that the players can place that will be invisible in the world, so that way they can have a treasure hunt and then X marks the spot type of thing. The XYZ coordinates are important, so that way they don't get lost.
Awesome. Let's see. I just put the questions, or at least the first round of questions, over there for you. If you want to start browsing through them, see if there's any in there you want to answer. I see the sometimes lurker. Can there please be a train summoned pet aggro skill and a min summoned pet aggro, or min summoned skill? Yes, and those are actually the ones that are the easiest ones to add, are adding in those passives. I know people prefer actives. I prefer actives as well. I think they add a lot more to the game to have more actives in there, whereas the passives are just more things to spend experience points on that are always there. But those are two that I need to get in there that are just, again, deficiencies compared to tamed. Now, before the debate and argument begins, summoned pets, my intention is to never make summoned pets as powerful as tamed pets. Again, people who do tamed, it's much more of a investment of time and effort than it is for the summoned stuff. So that's kind of, rather than it being a piece of a whole school, it's actually its own entire school, its entire tree. So there's a lot more effort involved in leveling that up and running that. So, but yes, that is one of the things that I think it lacks compared to tamed. That is an easy add to get that in there. And in fact, maybe that will appear for this release. I did give some tamed stuff some love here, not tamed, some summoned stuff some love recently, and I will do some more of that for this next release as well. My goal is to make it so the Phoenix is actually meaningful. Oh crud, what's it called? The moon one. Will-O-Wisp. The Will-O-Wisp is actually more useful. Gets more balance in those guys, so there's going to be some more work on that. Let's see. Do we have a rough ETA on when summoned skeletons will increase the amount of skeletons summoned with skill level? So that's one that this actually had some challenges that I think people weren't aware of previously. But actually, with the recent, when I added GM power stuff towards the end of last year, I actually did the work that was needed to allow for multiple summons on a single player. I have not made use of it, and we had to do that just because I had to do that to make it because player GMs could summon multiple different things, and that was kind of one of the differences we had between GM client and player client was the GM client had more support for that stuff, so I actually moved some of that stuff over to the player client. But that should allow for the multiple creatures. Again, that's one of the changes. I haven't had much feedback on that. Maybe if I put it in and throw it on QA this next week, maybe I can get some feedback. But making it so skeletons are no longer summoned and controlled, but rather they are summoned and they do their thing. So basically, you can summon them and they just go on their own, kind of self-guided heat-seeking missile type stuff. My guess is that it's going to be a different enough play style. The skeletons are not used that much anyway, so maybe it won't be one that I need to do a separate one, but it's such a different play style, it feels like I need to do it as a separate skill, raise Army of the Dead type stuff. But I'll see what I can get in there for it. But yes, I still like that idea. I still think that's a good way to differentiate it between the others. The other one that I'd thought of doing was raising the skeletons, making it more like a corpse explosion, where you summon a skeleton, but to do it, something dies first, and you have to have something die, and then you can corpse explode it, or in this case, you raise from the dead on it. That's all tech that we already have, so let's see. You got one picked out?
Yeah, the obvious one, obviously. Can you share some of your vision for the future of player-created dungeons?
Oh, that's one for you.
Some things that you're working towards or hope to work towards. Of course, plenty of new rooms and varying hallway styles and things like that. There's a lot of obvious stuff that I need to work on right away. And there's going to be a lava grotto for lava fishing that'll be thrown in. And some of the hallways need some more variations, things along those lines, so that way it doesn't seem so repetitive when you put it in. So the short answer is lots of new rooms. I also want to put in more secret doors and false doors, things like that, where it looks like there might be a door there, but you can't really open it. Things back to Dungeons and Dragons type of times. So yeah, there's a lot of plans on as far as that is concerned. I have a larger vision as well that I can't really exactly share right now because I need to do some prototyping. But once that happens, the player dungeon section of the game is going to blow up like a balloon. There's going to be large amount of stuff and new things to do. My current plans actually for executing this is to start hopefully during the next talk release. I'm trying to get caught up on some things because of the life events that I've had recently, which were piled on top of other life events, to get caught up. So I'm kind of using a tick release as a talk release right now to get caught up on those things. And so my plan right now is during May and by June to start getting some of these things actually out into release. On
screen here, not sure if you're looking at it, but I remember this was one of the performance items that I looked at. This is a notorious new designer type thing, but this one actually is not that bad. But you can see this tree in the crystal globe. It is actually a tree. We use a system called speed trees, but it's actually a tree that's in there. Now, before you say, why would you do that? That's horrible performance. If you look at it, it turns, you can't tell, but right about where is it? Right there. At that distance, it turns into a billboarded sprite rather than being an actual thing. But it's one of those silly things, if you go up close, you can actually see it. And this is using the same tree textures and everything that we have already in most scenes, so it's not even adding much to the memory footprint. We actually, I think that's on our list of preload that we always just have loaded as most of our major speed trees. But look, you can get right up to it, and it holds up amazingly well. Look at all the candy canes. There's a little gingerbread man. Normally I would be screaming about performance, but like I said, I have looked at this one before, and I know it billboards at almost no distance at all. Go ahead.
Very nice. It came out really nice.
Let's see. We got the Sometimes Lurkers spamming up the questions about summoning stuff. Let's see. Any ETA on lots of stuff for summons? Tameable large, huge wyverns, as well as tameable mutilator bears and warp spiders. So the mutilator bears, again, we probably won't be adding in a new tier of difficulty above what we currently have. Bears already have those. Wyverns, on the other hand, do not have a tier 15 equivalent. So we will probably not be adding the mutilator bears now. The bigger wyverns and dragons that are on the same level is probably going to be the next thing that'll show up in that category of creature. But I don't think we're planning on getting them in for tick. That's one that usually B would do. And B is spending a good chunk of time with Elgarion helping out, B being Beezus, but helping out with crafting stuff and some of that rework of enchantment stuff. So let's see. Here's a tough one. Thori Kamara, what is your stand on empty lot as holders for resale? Some have been claimed since release without any use. My guess is this is relating to, if it's a pot, obviously, Thori Kamara. I keep saying Thori Kamara. Thori Kamara, you can always, of course, if it's a pot, you can always boot people if you want them. That's not a problem. That's, again, part of why we love the idea of pots, is we don't have to do any management. My guess is, though, this is referring to NPC towns, where for the longest time we had a three lot or 2 lot, I think it was 3 lot limit on how many lots you could claim, specifically for this reason, was to keep people from trying to camp them. But then over time we realized it was really, all we're doing is making them set up more free accounts to basically hold those lots for people. So it's one of those where it's too easy to work around. So we decided recently, and of course NPC towns weren't getting that much use, we decided to remove that limit so you can claim as many as you want to. I had not seen that people had claimed a ton of them. If there is a place where it looks like it's a problem and people are just making towns ghost towns, feel free to report it to support. I'm sure Lainey's screaming at me right now, or screaming at her screen for saying that, but feel free to report that type of stuff to support if it's like somebody has claimed a bunch of lots and they're not using any of them, they're just keeping them empty. She says it's all good. But that was never the intention, is for people to go claim them. I would assume if the lots that they're claiming, if they were super desirable, then somebody would already be in, would have already been in them. So if they're just going to claim them to turn places into ghost town, that's never really been the intention. So feel free to report those guys to support, and we can look into it and do something about it. Let's see. What do you think about adding an aggro ability to shield for us light armor tanks? Ooh, light armor tanks. Usually the light armor tanks don't have too much trouble holding aggro, just because they're usually doing lots of fast attacks. But yeah, shield, I gave shield a little bit of love recently, but it's definitely on the list of it needs more love, and I'm constantly on a tank love fest. I think it's no big secret that heavily armored people are not, let's see how to put it, heavy armored guys still lack the defensive equivalent to what mage types have. You can wear the heaviest armor in the game and you'll still get beat up pretty well buy high tier stuff. That's one of those things I try to keep an eye on, because what I really would love is for tanks to be able to survive longer facing big creatures and hordes of creatures than anybody else, and actually have a purpose and be able to hold aggro. And I think we've gotten a lot closer to that, but we still lack some. But again, the shield users, that's kind of a different category. Of there's some people who are heavy armor guys, and then there's shield users, and of course the real tanks we kind of expect them to be both. But I think I've heard some people shunning shields in favor of two-handed bludgeon or whatever, just because, well, one, they can get some more DPS, and then the DPS helps them hold aggro, and so it helps them hold aggro more to not use a shield. So that's definitely something I can look at, is trying to get some shield love going on for ways to generate aggro. Because again, shields and tanks go hand in hand, so generally go hand in hand.
So, B-Striker is asking if we could get some kind of a timer on the battle banners. Question, I guess, would be a little bit more detail on this. Are you looking to, because the battle banners, of course, swap out on their own, right? So are we looking for a countdown timer on that? And are you looking for it to display if you select it as like a health bar type of thing? Or what are we looking to do with that? That type of thing could be done, but I wonder exactly what we're looking for.
You're asking Beast Striker?
Yeah.
I have one here from Monkey Smack. Can refining speed be applied to making board straps and coils? So that's kind of the mid-range, what do we call them? We have the refining, where is it? We have the gathering, the refining, and the production. So it sounds like he's talking about the is that even in refining? That's in production. They all just kind of blur together since we don't really call out which one it is. I guess it all depends on which table. But anyways, wanting to make the middle stuff, the board, straps, and coils of wire stuff, faster for production. Yeah, I mean, that's type stuff. What I think we should have speed improvements, speed increases on, ways for players to increase their speed on, is anything that you're going to be making, dozens of them. When you get kind of to the end step, the only thing I really see that we shouldn't be speeding up is kind of the final process, like when you get down to the stuff where you're actually going to be thinking about it a little bit, like the masterwork enchant type stuff. That's the type stuff that I believe we shouldn't be speeding up, because that's type stuff that you do less frequently. That's kind of the last part of it. But I would be fine with speeding up anything up until that point. Again, as some of these things are old design ideas of trying to attach cost to things, and in some cases the cost is the time consumed. But for those middle steps where it's really just repetitive, I would love to get those things sped up. Anything where you're doing a stack of them at a time, producing 50 of them at a time, I would love to have those things be able to be sped up. I will talk to B and Rick about that and see what their thoughts are on that, because yeah, anything that you're going to be doing 50 of, we don't want you to have to wait. We want you to be able to do that much quicker. Let's see. Michael Dragon Breath. Can Envy Bows be made upgradable? I thought they were, or maybe that's I know it's been talked about. I'm not sure why they wouldn't be. It's artifacts you can collect a bunch of just because it comes off of a specific mob. That's seasonal doesn't mean we shouldn't have it upgradable. So I'm not sure what the reason behind that is. Sorry, watching chat. But I believe it should be upgradable. I'm not sure why it's not. Let me get back up here. Going back up. Any news on when bards will need instruments? And does voice training help at all if an instrument is used? And can we play songs whilst battling? Pick any. I cheated. That was from Bridge Troll. I want to get the bard stuff in there. I've done a few things. It seems every attempt I've made to try and get instruments working how I want them to behave has resulted in problems. I've actually put at least one round of changes live and then had to pull it back out, as you guys probably know. So I'm trying to come up with a better way. It may end up being that I just make it so you have to... Bard instruments can be equipped as weapons. And then those actually go in your weapon slot. That's one of the possible fixes for it. It may end up being also that we have some that are purely combat type things that don't actually work out of combat and just go in your main slot. But soon I'm going to try to get a fix on that. This next week coming up, I'm going to be doing nothing but fixes. That's definitely one of the balance fixes I could be working on, and I call that a balance fix, not a polish fix, just because there's a lot of stuff with the bards, as people know, that are OP, and I've upset some people by nerfing them, but they were really pretty overly powerful. But they were overly powerful with the intention that you would be just doing the bard thing. You would not be, pulling out an instrument or, not even pulling out an instrument, just clicking a button for a half second and bam, I got bard stuff going on. They're supposed to have to be something that you weave, spend a lot of time on, and keep your instrument out for to make them that powerful. So, yes, it needs to happen. And as soon as that happens, I can take another look at the balance for bard stuff as well, because again, it is pretty OP at the moment. Some of the things, it's actually come down quite a bit. Krazuka, that's a name I don't think I've heard before. Is it per design or oversight that Atonist robes take the leg slot too? I did not know that. We do have just a handful of items that take up 2 slots. They probably should be looked at, because again, if they're things that we want you to be able to choose your own look for combat, but if they're things that take up 2 slots, they get really tough to make a balanced item where you're actually going to want to use that. So we can take a look at that. If obviously the shroud is another one of those things that takes up a couple slots, but yeah, I think that's per design, but it may not be a good design. Is kind of the short version. Lilybird. Why do common and uncommon artifacts both drop only 1 ancient essence? Logically, the uncommon artifact should drop 4 of them, right? I think this is one of those things that was done for balance that Elgarion's working on. If you look at it it takes 4 commons to make an uncommon, then it should. The intention was never really to have it, you get all of them back if you're, building a bigger artifact. That you lose some of the power from it, but I'm not sure what his entire plan is. I know he's got a lot of things planned for the ancient essences and making them actually something useful. There's a bunch of these items in game that there's a lot of, and they should be used in more than one place, and that's one of those where he's got plans for it. So I don't want to say that that's not by design. I'm pretty sure that's by his design right now. So he may correct me, of course, but and that is stuff that I'm trying to turn over to him. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, we have meetings on that stuff, and he goes over his plan changes with me. So I'm not totally leaving it up to him, but that is something that he's done. So I'm going to say it's by design, though. Have you considered, this is from Mad Chef of Xenos, have you considered moving the summon innate skills to their own tree so that summons can be more competitive with tames as an equal tree with skills and XP sync? Maybe. There's a lot of different stuff to go in, and it is kind of awkward with these summons, trying to figure out where to put them, because, the obvious place is to put them into focus. That's kind of the equivalent to tactics for the magic side of things, and these are all magic summons. But that tree's getting pretty crowded. It may be time to do some breakdown and move and refactor on some of those things. There's not a big technical reason that it can't be done. Honestly, some of it comes down to trying to make sure our trees look cool and make sense, the layout of the trees. I get a better thing on the screen there. But no, that's if I add too many more skills, I'm probably going to have to do something like that where I break it out into a completely different tree, kind of like taming. Now, I still don't fully expect it to get there, but that's one of those things I'm trying to figure out the balance for, and it's always trying to make sure there's some cost associated with these things. Of course, right now they have cost in terms of focus and stuff, but trying to make sure we don't give too many more things that are, you can do everything you want to do, and, this one other thing. That's kind of always the challenge with the summons and the tamed and those things, is trying to make sure that there's some cost with it so people still have a choice to, I don't want to play with a summoned creature. And we don't want to make that cost the fact that the creatures are annoying or have bugs to them. Because I see there's another question that somebody had, that they were talking about making the creatures more responsive. And I've taken a few passes at them. If someone's saying they're not responsive now, you should have seen them about 6 months ago. You could sit there and count to 5 practically before they would start responding. They're much better than they were. In terms of them following you, that may be a different one, though. I know it takes some time to follow, and the teleport isn't on. That's one of those things I definitely need to look into. That's probably an easy fix. We're probably specifically excluding teleport. Sorry, making a note. But we're probably put an extra code to make sure you couldn't have them teleport all the time. So I need to fix that. All right. Snowdog JJJ, why don't we have maps for many towns still? I was waiting for you to respond to that. Do we have any time frame on that? I didn't call you out. I was pointing on my screen.
I was distracted.
I was pointing on the screen. I was pointing up at you, but I know there's a good 20 seconds of lag between the two of them. So, do we have any map updates? Again, I keep threatening to just make the entire team do nothing but make maps for a week if we can't get caught up on them.
Yeah, no. Actually, there's a handful of maps that are actually a little bit wonky, where the 0 coordinate is not where it should be, and for some reason the compass was rotated, the skybox was rotated on it, which is causing me issues. So there's one that I've been working on, so I'm gonna set that aside. There's about 100 maps that'll take me about 15 minutes a piece, so I'll just start pumping through those. And every time I run into a map that's a little wonked up, I'm going to set it aside and put a note on it on the list. So, this weekend I should be able to get a bunch of maps done and updated in the system. I also need to go back and touch on a bunch of the other maps that still have some blur issues, and adjust those as well. Hey, Jay, I know this isn't related to the general audience, but since we're here talking about it, should I leave crunching on, or I know that I'm turning off MIPS, but should I leave the crunching on, or should I do an optimization on the PNG and then don't worry about crunching?
Don't do the crunch. If you do the crunch, it will always uncrunch into a DXT compress. Gotcha. For those who are wondering, this is our maps should be better quality. Most of the maps, especially the key maps, we were doing kind of standard graphics card compression. It's called DXT compression. We're doing that on most of them, which we normally think of as being good, pretty good quality, but it was really doing a number on some specific details on our map textures. So we were crunching them all because, hey, guess what? Packing in a bunch of 4K by 4K textures, images can be pretty big. But the end result was, even though we, decompressed them at load time, it was still noticeably bad. There's some places I think it came up mostly like in places like Novia or maps with a lot of writing on them. The writing in some places would barely be legible. After working with it, I actually experimented with upscaling the maps to, either 4K by 4K or 8K by 8K, looking at some of those things. And the size was actually, once we compressed it, it was still smaller. I went and did some tests using some of the super cool new AI upscaling technology. But the end result was still pretty unacceptable in terms of legibility and line qualities. That's when you start having single pixel wide lines on things, it starts getting really nasty. And I think the bigger problem was a lot of the stuff was not single pixel, but it was dithered around the edges to make it look smooth, make the lines look smooth, and that's kind of the compression just chews that stuff up and makes it horrible. But anyways, yes, don't use Crunch because Crunch will only work with DXT compressions. You can use, even turning it to 16-bit or something else is better. There's some high-quality compressions in there you can look. You can look and see what I did with the maps on Novia.
Yep, no problem. Yeah, I did look at those, and I just wanted to make sure it was okay for all of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some experimentation with optimizing the PNG as well, which will reduce the overall size of the file beforehand. Want to make sure that, I'll run one through that and put it on QA and make sure it looks okay.
Mad Chef of Xenos has a good idea here. Any thoughts on light armor shield buckler for dex-based melee players? That's kind of a neat idea. For those who don't know, bucklers are kind of like the small shield. You think of shields as being the big thing that you hold up to block all the arrows, but there are the bucklers that were more kind of almost a blocking parrying shield that were less bulky for dex-based. I'm trying to think how we'd make that work. Maybe have it have... Trying to think. I could probably make that work in the stats for the buckler. Make it so it maybe it would stop less, but it would your dex would increase the chance for a block. I'll continue thinking of it. But yeah, no, I like that idea of having a dex-based buckler. I don't think the implementation's that hard. We already have some visuals, I think, for different types of shields. I'm not sure if we have one for a buckler, though. The Sometimes Lurker. Will there be a Frenzy-esque skill for summons in the future? I've mentioned this before in a few streams, that it's something that I want to do, is having a kind of a self-destruct type skill for pets, where they, either fight and have a time frame where they die afterwards. You can cast this buff on them and it makes them more powerful for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, but then, they kill themselves at the end of it. Or just dramatically reducing their all their defensive skills so that they don't dodge, they don't block, they don't parry, they don't have damage resistance, and they die quicker that way. But then the upside of that is that then they get the frenzy, they get some big damage bonus. So maybe that's one I can look at. Again, as I'm continuing to look for stuff. I would love to get some stuff that is cross tree with taming, so that having a frenzy, maybe it's a frenzy spell. Maybe that's something that could go into like chaos or something, chaotic frenzy or something, where it actually goes in, but it can work on tamed and summoned creatures. Because I would love to get some of those type things where they it benefits everybody, not just one or the other. Trying to avoid building up too much competition, feeling to compare each other. Compare the tamed to the summon and summon to tame.
Hey, speaking of new items that we were talking, like the buckler there, we are adding into Hometown a section in the center of the town to showcase new items that are coming into the game. Mm-hmm. So I think we got new armor, clothing, deco, things along those lines. So that way you could, before you decide to buy, you could go over to Hometown, not only just look at houses before you buy those, but you could also go and look at new items that are going to be up in the store as well. That should actually be completed and operational by the end of the weekend.
I see Snowdog JJJ asking a question here. What added marketing are we doing to bring more players into the game? So we are continue to do marketing. I've actually turned it up some. I turned it off for a full week, just kind of as a sanity check to see what it did to our number of new players. And I shared it with the team, but it's definitely helping. The cost per new player is still pretty high to get new players into the game. But we are doing ads. Still the best ads I've found in terms of targeted ads that actually get people into the game. The best per dollar is still on Facebook. I think just because they have a better selection of things to target with. We are doing a bunch of those now. I actually sent around one to the team and told them that I was crying with happiness because somebody posted on one of our ads saying, "Okay, fine, you've shown me enough ads for this game. I'll finally give it a try," which makes me happy. Just seeing that people are actually out there seeing the ads. But there are actually ads that are running. The current best things we're seeing is, again, using a lot of things that are video ads, even though we're pushing them to watch videos for the game rather than pushing them to the login page. Those seem to do better than us trying to just pay for ads that push them to our account creation page. So that's the type of stuff you'll see. And again, it's kind of a you scratch our back by making good videos, and we'll scratch yours by sending people to give you video views. But that's the biggest thing we're doing right now. There actually is there's a few other things going on, one of which I've been sworn to secrecy on. And I'm trying to remember when they're going to announce stuff. That's cross promotion with another project. And then I've actually just started talking to the Project Gorgon guys. If you don't know what they are, they're kind of a game similar to ours, but it's one of those we talked a while back, and we basically just restarted that conversation of, our games are pretty similar. We're both still here years later. Why aren't we doing more talking together on what works for you or for each of us and what we can do to improve? It's not like we really expect, we're worried about stealing each other's market. We're different enough games that that's not really a problem, but we kind of see us all as the little guys fighting against the projects out there with $100 million budgets, guys that spend more money making an advertisement video than we have a budget for a year. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Elder Scrolls. Sorry, I've got friends on Elder Scrolls, so I don't know if any of them are watching it, but definitely jealous of their video content. It's not gameplay. Show me gameplay. But anyways, yeah, so we are doing lots of stuff, and we are seeing increases. Again, as I mentioned, we have some checks in place so we can see how people get to the game, but the biggest, most foolproof way is just doing let me turn off ads for a week and see what happens to new player creation. And that has definitely been proven time and time again. Then when I've done that, we see a huge drop in the players coming into the game. So I have actually been turning that up in terms of how many different ads. I think if you go and look at our Facebook page, you'll see lots of videos on there with dozens to some of them hundreds of likes. So those are the ones you can kind of tell which ones I'm doing ads for, as they all show up there. Let's see. Yes, shots fired. A couple of the guys who were, for those who don't know, I was on Tabula Rasa. I came in late on Tabula Rasa to help them deal with a bunch of tech issues and get the game completed. But there's a lot of good friends who are on Tabula Rasa who went and were key people on Elder Scrolls early on. So I know those guys. All good people.
Yes, they are. Before I came over to work, before I came over to even play or pledge to Shroud, I was working over with Elder Scrolls, and I was in alpha and ended up being one of the first people who did Lua add-ons for that game.
Let's see. All right.
Irish Eyes asked for if we could have saltwater grottos as well. Like, of course we can. I see no reason why not.
I think Irish Eyes also asked if we can have lava instead of water in pots, to which our lead artist got on chat and did in all caps, no. That's the type of stuff that I love doing. I am going to get you guys some water changing stuff. I don't know if it'll go to lava. I think that's more trying to get it to more natural, different colors of water. That came up due to St. Patrick's Day. People actually like the water from that stuff. So
I think we're going to have some lava-based pots, though, right?
in the plans, rubs his belly in lava. How about geyser water? Diving and treasure underwater. Oh, you guys are killing me. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling some prizes here. Give me a minute. Trying to remember, did we get 3 or 4? I don't remember which one it was.
I think it was 3, but give them 4.
They say 7, 5. You guys can't even agree on your lies. Practice. I'll give you guys 4 because I know there were some people who came in after the final thing there. Let me go ahead and start thanking some people here while I wait for the prizes to come up. Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Thank you, Bjorn Diotis, Hephaestus, Blood Omen, Thoric Omara. I still say Thoric Omara. I'm going to say Thoric Omara forever. When you run the name together that way, it just looks like Thoric Omara to me. Thoric Omara, thank you very much. You guys owe him a big pat on the back. Definitely come check out his town. If you haven't been over there, he's got a few lots left, at least I know. But he carried, I think he's probably worth one of the levels of rounds of prizes all on his own. Woodrow Beefcakes, Bedocious, 88, Irish Eyes, thank you very much, Irish Eyes. Spellfire, Versago, Dices, more Versago, more Mad Chef, Submarine Mike, thank you very much, times 6. Let's see, more Thori Kamara, more Spellfire. Looking down here, Michael Dragon Breath, thank you very much. Dices, Stymie, long live the Syndicate, buddy. Oh, that's right, I need to get back to Syndicate, Syndicon. I'm going to put some prizes up for you guys for Syndicon again this year. For those who don't know, the Syndicate is the oldest guild. I think they're like in the Guinness Book of World Records, but like the oldest, longest running guild. But I give them prizes each year. If you want to do the same type of stuff that they do, I will gladly help you guys out with some prizes. But they do some charity stuff with the prizes I give them where they let people within the guild bid on stuff. So I'll be putting some more of those stuff in for Syndicate guys this year. Not sure if I'm going to a Syndicon, if they have one this year, just still a little pandemic shy. Woodrow Beefcake! Beefcake! Thank you, Woodrow Beefcake. You might be responsible for one of those rounds of prizes yourself as well. Radicus 2K, Tomcat DE, Der Eric Koenig. Thank you very much. Hollyhock, many times over Hollyhock, long time person. Skeggy Media, Lilybird, Treasure Pile, and Mad Chef again. Puddlefoot, thank you very much. And I think I got everybody. If not, I'm sorry I missed you. I still appreciate you. Let's see how the prize stream is going here. Prizening. Alright, looks like the first one's out. Let's see. Laney just said, stepping out for a quick errand, and prizes will go out later tonight. So in case you're wondering when the prizes are going to go out, get them out later tonight. I wonder if Alphane is out there. Alphane, if you're out there, I haven't seen you talk in chat. Just wondering if you got your thing yet. Your medal yet. I did confirm it has been shipped, and it is somewhere in the ether, hopefully going towards your directions. That's one of those annoying...
All the medals for all 4 were sent out, right?
No, I still need addresses for at least a couple of them.
Oh, okay. I think I sent them over, but
you probably
what
did.
I will do is I'll go locate that stuff and I'll send it over to you again.
Yep. No, you almost certainly did. I don't know where it is, though.
Okay, no worries. I'll get
Upa
it
the
back.
Veil, that would be why you have not received yours. I still have 2 of them sitting on my desk, and I think yours is probably one of them. So, hold on, let me check to see where we're at with the prizing. But Alphane's did get sent out. He was the one that was not fun because I'm trying to remember. He's somewhere overseas, and it's one of those things like when you print out the thing, it doesn't even have his address on it. It ships to some place in America with a code on it that then goes through some special system to get there. It always confuses me when I print those things out, but I've done a few of those, and they always seem to get there, so be patient. It will arrive. All right, almost done with the prizes. Are you going to read the prizes or the names?
I will do the prizes this time.
Okay, yeah, you did the names last time. You did spectacularly at absolutely butchering them. But
Oh, it's very entertaining. Okay.
I will point out. Hold on, we got 2 more coming. I think we should have a QA. I'll try and get a QA out tomorrow morning. I think it finished building earlier today with some new stuff in it. So I don't think there's much in the way of balance this week. There's going to be a ton of new crafting stuff, I suspect, coming in next week, which would normally scare me, but Elgarion's done a pretty good job of convincing me he's pretty good about checking his stuff. So he only missed a few things last time. And it's kind of funny because he does an insane amount of tedious number tweaking and changing and working on thousands of files, and then I always imagine him and then like he screwed a couple of them up this last time, like just a couple of them out of like hundreds, and he was all apologetic. And I'm reading with my daughter right now. We're reading through the Harry Potters, and I always imagine him as the house elf, where like he screws up one tiny little thing and he's like banging his head on the table. Bad, bad house elf. Okay, now we have enough. All right, read them off.
Got all of them up there. We're ready?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so the Tabletop Cherry Blossom Tree 3-pack goes to...
And I will point out that there is at least one dupe in here, just glancing down at someone who always wins, and it looks like they're going to win twice this time. But just because we're giving away so many different ones, that is fine. You'll get 2 prizes. You are free to do what you want to with them. Those go to Blaze Garsink, always wins. Alon, Miskabel Terrafera, Takamune, Limbur, Magus Nova Stalker. I'm sure I nailed every one of those perfectly, exactly how they wanted me to say them. Next up.
You did it better than I did. The next item is the Ornate Viking Planting Pot 2-pack.
Yeah, the secret is to just not stop if you don't know. Just keep going. If you aren't sure about it, just let it come out. Lineman King Barbrady, Dougie Redhammer of the Redhammer clan. Shiroi Kaze, Sarion, who I think has a picture somewhere right around here, and Iceman.
Okay.
Let me find his picture.
And oh, great. Now, and I know what this is supposed to sound like, but I can never say this word. Anemone flower bed.
Anemone, I was looking for Sarion's picture somewhere around here. The anemone flower bed goes to Azurion de Fresney, Blaze Garsink, always wins. Pop Lancermain, congratulations, Pop. Rainflower, oh, I like that. Ian Berry, and Lanid.
Cool. Now we have a small fancy pavilion that goes to...
Oh, this is a good one. Strad von Zurovich, Lanid, again. Miskabel Terrafera, again. Ian Berry, Farmer Ted, and Lucien de Morte. Next.
And finally, a blue marble indoor pool dungeon room.
Goes to Treasure Pile, again one of my favorite names. Geldar, Osun, Andit Thomas, Vulcan Jedi, and last but not least, could it be you? Nope, it's Dorn Slate. Congratulations to all you winners out there. And I see I'm getting feedback. Somebody sent me a message in game, whispered me in game, saying a Chaos Frenzy skill sounds nice and would be perfect for my super pet. Maybe that will be one that makes it in there. Chaotic Frenzy. Definitely looking to give Chaos stuff some love. And that's one that I could do without any significant help from artist types, so I do like that. All right. Did we have any other big announcements? I guess we don't have any fishing contest announcements. I will announce, I don't think I saw anything about dance party or any of that type of stuff I'm supposed to announce. I will remind the people who do the dance party stuff, I do have a buff potion that I will hand out to you guys who want to do dance parties or whatever type of events. That's going to be just a social event potion that you'll drink it. It summons a ring of buff. Basically, it summons a 2-hour spot where players can come, and if they walk into it, they'll get a special buff for being there. And that is yet another enticement to get people to drop what they're doing, whether they're in an adventure or whatever, and come to your social event. So that's definitely the type of thing you will want to use for your social event to help get some more fence sitters, as I will call them, to get off the fence and come join your party. So, but anyways, I think that's it. We've got about a little under 2 more weeks before the release. We will be getting a lot of stuff in there. Expect to see QA builds, so probably 3 times a week between now and then. And there's going to be a little bit of balanced stuff, but I think the biggest nerf hammer hits, as people have referred to them, have already landed in terms of skill stuff. There's going to be, I think, some of the other stuff that I've got left to do will be more bringing other stuff up rather than pulling some things down. I think I'll go do my last check. I'll go stealth some people, stealth watch some parties, and see how their performance and metrics and what their strategies are. But I think we're not too terribly far off, at least for the PvE side of things. But I think that's probably it. You got anything else for him?
No, I don't.
I will not be singing today. I'm sorry. No, John Marcus. Don't donate either, because I don't want to sing today. I was trying to explain to someone that there's 2 types of singers. See, there's the people who have the really good voices, like a Sting or one of my favorites, Florence from Florence and the Machines. That's not actually her name, of course, but there's like the people who have like the really good voice and you want to hear them sing. But then there's this whole other category. See, I'm not one of those people. There's this whole other category of people like Johnny Cash or Bob Dylan, who they really just don't have that great of a voice, but they just got so much, feeling and intensity. I'm also not that type of person. I'm just a bad singer. I'm the guy at karaoke, but I will sing for you guys next time if I get some bits. Not today. Don't give me any bits today. I don't want to sing. Just sing for my pleasure and your punishment, but not today. Do we have someone to raid here? Who do we got? I'm going to look. Maybe we can find a new person. If there's a new guy out there today, we should definitely hit the new guy up. Oh, Eileen Dragonfire. That's one that I should probably hit up. Oh, Eileen's there. She's got 11 viewers going on. That's actually, I think she had, I'm not sure if it was her or Ember. I know there's a video from Ember that's on our page that is actually one I'm trying to promotion on. I sent around my whining to the rest of the team that it's frustrating because I pay for these ads on Facebook, and I don't select male or, advertise male or female people. 94% of them are always male. 94% of the people they show the ad to are men. And that's actually, I think that's the interaction level. 94% of the people who interact with the ad are men, looking at the metrics. So they had one that was a dance video type thing that we shared, and I'm actually trying something new. I'm advertising that only to women. I'm trying to bring in the ladies. We'll see if it works. But I see Eileen's there, but we got a new person there, Real Millennium Group. I don't know. Oh, it's a rerun. Never mind. All right, Coswald's there, but I've rated him. I almost raided him twice in a row. We're going to do Eileen. We haven't done a raid on Eileen here for a while. Go check out what she's got going on there. It looks like she's in an interesting place. If you want to see non-Dancy stuff, you can always go over and check out Coswald. He is an amazing streamer. Let's see. Fail? No, don't. Seems we have a disagreement of opinions down there. Versago, I know it's a total sausage fest. I'm trying to bring out the ladies. I'm paying for ads targeted just at ladies. We will see how that goes. I'm not sure. If you look at our actual player base, it's not that bad. It's definitely not 94% men versus 6% women. That's just when I advertise, that's what I get. So I'm trying to figure out a way to not continue bringing in 94% men and 6% women. But let's see. All right, there we go. We're set up to go raid. Guys, again, be safe out there. We are working. Whoop. Bjorn Dionysus, definitely contact me. I can set that up. I can set up your PvP skill cap for you for your pot town if you want me to. But yeah, definitely let me know. I can get that done for you. That's pretty quick. I think that one does require a client published though. It's got to be a client and server in sync. So I can hook you up, man. But guys, be safe out there. Things are getting much better. Things are returning normal. I actually took my 7-year-old on a field trip. We went to the zoo and we went to the aquarium in Corpus Christi, where while we were there at the aquarium, it's mostly outdoors at the aquarium, but while we were there, a giant ship passed by that had on the letters on the side like an oil rig that said Minerva on the side. So I sent that to Minerva
Really?
in-game. Yeah, I took a picture and sent it to her and said, why is your ship here? But anyways, but still, be careful out there. We will see you next week. We will, like I said, we'll have a QA out, QA build out, and less than 2 weeks next release. And I think that's it because it's about to cut me off. Guys, stay safe. Be cool. See you in game.